over here as well. So let me know if there's any audio issues you folks are hearing at the moment. I think it's pretty good. But I don't know for sure. Nick 3D here, and Dom. Welcome, folks. Feel like I could angle that camera off a little bit. But okay. Music. Thank you, Dom. I had to scramble a whole bunch on some odd reason. My audio interface for my microphone, for some reason, the audio interface going into my camera had a ton of noise, like a ton of background noise for no reason. High quality camera, high quality audio interface, and microphone. I don't know. I use it to record videos all the time. It's perfectly fine. For this, not so much. So I had to like scramble to make it work, but we're working now. So I'm going to move the camera up and angle it just a little bit, and we'll get there. All right, 1 second. Yep. Okay, let's get to unboxing this thing. Made some seitan last week. Awesome. What are my print times on the can koozie, the grenade can koozie? Garbage quality with Chet's profile. Sorry to hear that. On a grenade on Ender 3 V2, I would expect print time to be somewhere between 10 to 12 hours on average. With the handle. With the handle, maybe upwards of like 14. It's been a while since I've printed one on an Ender 3, so I can't say for sure. But that sounds about right to me. Adjust the settings here real quick. Alright, let's get to unboxing this thing. The Ender 5 S1. So, Creality, direct drive. Ender 5 basic, not the Plus. I don't think they have a new Plus yet. I really want them to update the Plus. That's on par with what you're getting. That sounds about right. If it stops working, I'm blaming you. Hey, you're the one who converted it to Clipper. Don't blame me. You know how troublesome Clipper can be. Seriously, I was working on my Voron yesterday, my 2.4. I'm finally getting it up and running. This does have the Sprite extruder, yes. Finally getting my Voron 2.4 up and running. I installed Clipper on it, and I like updated something. And I went to it, and all of a sudden Mainsail couldn't connect to Clipper anymore. It says can't connect. I start troubleshooting it, and it deleted various files. No idea why, how, just totally disappeared. So the folks over at Pergear sent this one over to me, this Ender 5 S1. Jesus Christ. My studio's a disaster right now, so this is going to be fun. Yeah, I'd really like to see them come out with a new Ender 5 Plus. They really need to. New weird hot end and short PTFE2. But yeah, it looked weird in the pictures, so... I mean, technically it being mounted there is still direct drive. It's just not as closely mounted as it could be. Yeah. Big chunks of foam underneath there. There's the Z-axis motor and rods. God, this stinks. Corner braces. They look suspiciously like mine, but feel much weaker. And the bed rail mounts, which also feel really weak. Aww. These spools are always so adorable, aren't they? Oh. Hey, there. Wow. I didn't realize this came with a 50-15 part cooling fan. Let's take a closer look at this hot end extruder, whatever. Let me switch camera angles real quick. Boop. There we go. So, stupid bar's in the way. But there is the Sprite extruder, sort of. Sprite extruder's mounted up here. It's got a full hot end down below that. Maybe we'll tear that apart yet. But on the back, there is a actual... There's an actual 5015 fan with a... Looks like a fairly decently designed dual duct. See how it like wraps around the hot end and everything? That is impressive for Creality. They never bother with quality cooling. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, I'm going to set this aside for a moment. Bed assembly with a Limo connector on there. That's nice to see. I like that. I like that. And the bottom frame with the electronics box. And the uprights for the frame. All right. Studio is going to be a disaster for a little while. Shroud is just aesthetic. Awesome. If Creality offer you the enclosure, just say no. Good to know. Thanks, Tom. Good to know. Okay. So let's take a quick look at... I want to know what board's in this thing. What board are they running in this? It's just a thing I do in every video, every unboxing at this point is pop it apart and see what's inside. Hello, welcome. Thiago, is that how you say your name? Welcome. Some. Mouth moves, then word come out. Will I transform this into a VZ bot? Now, yeah, I'm using the audio interface directly into the computer. Let me add a little bit of a delay to it real quick. Advanced audio properties, millisecond offset. Say 25 millisecond. Advanced audio properties, yeah. Does that sound any better? My mouth a little more lined up with my words now? Whoop. All right. We got a 60 millimeter cooling fan in here. Well, I don't want to unplug that. It's hot glued in, of course. Looks fine beforehand. Worse. Okay, I'll just kill the delay. Okay, delay killed. I'll have to play with that. This is the first time I'm using this configuration. Oh, damn it. Delay killed. Okay. Yeah, this is the first time with this particular configuration because I was getting a weird noise. Is this a WoW stick? No. This is a knockoff of a WoW stick. It's iFu Innovate for Us. There's actually a link in the description of the live stream to this screwdriver. It's like $24 on Amazon. Maybe that was when it was on sale. It might be $30 for it with a kit of bits. I love this thing. 30 bucks. Does great. Yeah, there's a link in the description to that screwdriver. Okay, let's take a look at the main board in here. Boop. There's the electronics case. Single 60 millimeter fan blowing directly down onto the board, the touchscreen interface. And I don't see what board this is. They don't have a name on it. Oh, Creality Unnamed Revision, it looks like. My eyes aren't good enough in this lighting to read what chip it's got. Oh, I also forgot. What I also forgot I can do, since I set this up last time, should be able to do... maybe not. Doesn't look like it's working. Stupid Apple. My phone should be able to be used as a cam, but of course, Apple being Apple, it's not working right now. So, it's fine. Yeah, I'm not seeing any name on the board. Ferrule check on the power connectors. They are ferruled, yes. The power leads for the 24 volt in and for the bed heater are ferruled. I don't see... Oh, the hot end connection is through a proprietary plug, so no ferrules required there. So... folks on TikTok, if you want a better view, we are live over on YouTube. Sorry, I can only pay so much attention, and YouTube is taking precedent. I don't like electric screwdrivers. They're usually slow. This one is not fast, but it's fast enough for my liking. And when you work with the screwdriver as much as I do, having an electric screwdriver will save your wrist, your elbow, your arm in general, a lot of pain. I was having serious repetitive stress pain from using a screwdriver all the time until I got one of these things. So I really like my iFixit kit. I really like the LTT screwdriver, but this thing saves me so much pain. So, all right, let's get this thing put together. Get these wires out of my way for a second. I gotta switch the power supply. It's currently set at 230 volt. Damn it, change. There we go, 115. Looks like that camera's moved. Philly dude, lived there for a long time. Yes, I am. I'm from outside of the city and I currently live in it. Having glitches with yours after your WoW stick after 2 Vorons. My wrists are lubed pretty good after 20 years of being a bicycle mechanic. After 20 years of working on cars, mine are crunchy and need lubrication. So that's actually part of the reason mine are so bad. Okay. I'm going to look at what they recommend. I'm sure it's just put the uprights on, then put the top frame on. But I might as well refer to the instructions. I'm not so... we got a whole sticker pack. That's neat. Don't care. Uprights, top frame, bed assembly. Yep. Okay. Watching my videos lately, really enjoying them. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll be back to making more like full-on videos very soon. The month of December is just such a hard time for content. How are you finding my $1,500 filament dryer? It is currently broken and out of commission. That's the next video. I gotta fix that thing. My my Bamboo Labs X1 is a paperweight right now, completely useless. So that is my next.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri, go away.
Okay.
Why do I need a confirmation?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
I love my Apple Watch, but that is just stupid sometimes. It's funny because that only ever happens when I'm live. Okay, where was I at? Yeah, my X1 is completely broken. I'm not printing anything right now. I would be running the X1, probably printing some parts, but it's broken. So I'll be doing a video about what broke on it and what I need to do to fix it in the very near future. I hope to have it up yet this week before next weekend, because I don't want to put it out in Christmas Eve. Not next Saturday, because nobody's going to watch it on Christmas Eve. So I will be putting out a video about it, hopefully like Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see. Depends how much work it takes to get it up and running again. In Westchester. Oh yeah, I saw you comment about that. Saw you hit Earth, wasn't following you then. Hey, that's cool. Okay. What size hardware do I need for the uprights? M525. M525. There's only 4. Oh no, there's a whole bunch of them here. Why are there 2 different bags of them? Oh, these ones have lock washers on them already. Okay, that makes sense. M525s. Gonna have to go with the LTT screwdriver on this one. I saw last night on the WAN show, Linus is talking about coming out with a stubby LTT screwdriver, which is exactly what I want. So, looking forward to that now. 2, 3, those are going to be the back ones. Is there visibility on the first layer with this machine? No, there's not. Just like the all the other Ender 5s, I'm going to be changing that. I'm going to be taking that bar off of this machine. Don't you worry about that. I can't stand that on the Ender 5s. I'm going to be giving it the full Joel telling. Luckily, I don't have to break out an angle grinder to do that. Yeah. Thank you for the plastic wrap to hell, Creality. Wonderful. Jesus. Okay. That was annoying. Oh, great. They are specific. Looks like this is probably 2. That's probably 3. Yep. 2, 3. This one's number 2. Stubby LTT screwdriver ready by 2030. Yeah, that sounds about right. When Linus said that on WAN show, that was my first thought. I was like, oh, 3 years from now I'll be able to get one. Cool. Hopefully by then I'll be at a point where he'll actually just send me one. Get in there. All right. Dropped one. The threading on these is not great. I'd like to chase them, but use a Sawzall. Well, I don't need to on this. You can unbolt the bar on this one, so don't need to give it the giving it the Joel telling is very easy on this one. Figured out the issue with the Voron. Which issue? Which Voron? I'm working on my 2.4 right now. I was yesterday. Actually, I was working on it this morning, too. Where'd I put that? Ah, right there. And what was the UC of the board? What do you mean, the controller chip? I forgot to look. Or I was in there looking and my iPhone was acting up, so I just moved on. The iPhone 13, I like the iPhone 13, but what I can say about it for sure is the autofocus is garbage compared to the 12 and the 11. Like, the autofocus has gotten worse. I mean, it makes sense. They're using a larger aperture on the newer phones, so larger aperture, harder to focus. Josh Murray, welcome. Murrah? I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. Kind of said Murray, but yeah. The microcontroller on the board. Yeah, I didn't catch it. I'll open it back up. We'll take a look when I get back, when I get this kind of together. I'll pop the bottom panel off, take a look at it, see if I can get my camera working. System settings. I want to see. My iPhone should be able to be used as a webcam. It's all set up, but it's just not. It's not connecting. What's that called? Yeah, it has to work a lot harder to get focus, but it's annoying. Okay, this computer's way too slow. So, 2023. I really need a new stream computer. Maybe yet in 2022. I might be a Christmas gift to myself yet. We'll see. Okay, those are on. Not tight, but they're on. I'm not going to tighten until everything's together. So, on to these rails. Yeah, it makes sense why the iPhone has a harder time focusing. It's just annoying for me as a content creator, constantly battling it. I mean, I battle it on my Panasonic cameras too, so, you know. Print volume. There you go. Dom got it. 220, 220, 280. Gosh. This is annoying. Is it like... Oh. These extrusions are stuck together. Eh. Alright. Fun. Okay. 012. Well, 11.
I found this on the web.
Seriously. Siri never kicks in when I'm just in the studio working by myself or filming a video. Only when I'm live. Gotta love that low back force. Gotta love it. All right. Get this run down a bit. Okay. This one. Anytime now. Oh, I like that this comes with a filler piece. It's in my way right now, but I like that it has it.
I'm not sure I understand.
Just browsing the hot end. Extruder assembly looks nice. Seems like BQ started the trend in budget world to don't skim too much on the extruder hot end. Yeah. What's a projected print speed? I have no idea. I don't take manufacturer claims seriously, so I don't trust manufacturer claims, so I didn't even bother looking. The only thing I don't care for is the cantilevered bed. Yes, I agree. I don't love cantilever beds. It's fine on my MakerBot, like a Reanimaker. It's alright on that, but even there it can be an issue. I do agree. Okay. We got that on there. Let's take a look at what controller is on the board quick. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to double check it. See if I can't get a photo of it. Since chip shortage, it's so hard to get boards. I understand companies changing all the time, but it makes firmware a pain in the ass. Okay. ARM. Well, of course it's an ARM processor. What is it? It is an STM32F401. It's an F401 RET6. I'm gonna take a photo. I can barely make it out with the compression of an iPhone photo, but I got it. Yeah, STM32F401 RET6. Yeah, the nozzles being different than a regular Mark 8 nozzle is just annoying. I really dislike that. There's not many aftermarket options available for them. I kind of highly expect that's something I'll change on this machine in the not too distant future. It's part of why I tell people not to buy the, what do they call it? What are the name of their freaking hot end? The Spider hot end. It's because it uses that same nozzle design. Revo CR mount for it. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I'll get the let's get this thing assembled and we'll take a closer look at the hot end. Get the top on here. I like the handles on the side of this. I like the handles on the side of that. All right. I do wish to Revo more machines, that's for sure. Yeah, they have updated the extrusions to look nicer. There's also a cover in this bottom extrusion so stuff doesn't fall down in there. I like that. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of these like semi-enclosed ones here. Cut my hand trying to open one of those. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of these. Like, yeah, they look good, but they limit my options for mounting random stuff, and I like to mount random things to my printers, so... It's still open on the side, so there is that. Alright. Let's get this... Whoop. That's why I left everything loose, so I can manipulate all this a little better. Doors and panel work harder, yep. I'm not putting a screw in that because I'm taking that bar out. In fact, let's take that bar out right away. I should give this machine a fair test as it's shipped, but I hate that bar. Creality bar, you're going away. I should really be squaring this frame up, but I'm going to go with what they've given me. Working with what I was provided. If it's not right, that ain't on me. I should square it, but I'm not going to. That belt's a little sloppy. This side feels good. This side's a little loose. I'll tighten that. All right. You need to come out. Maybe this one? Yeah. Is that frame sturdy enough to work without the front? It'll work fine for initial testing. I run my Ender 5 Plus without this bar on it. What I did is I designed, they actually shipped some. I designed better than this. Corner braces that I install here, which I will do on this machine. I will design probably specifically for this machine, because the ones I have now are designed for the Ender 5 Plus that I currently have. But yeah, I'll design some of these braces like this to go there. But honestly, I have not had a single problem on my Ender 5 Plus with those braces in place with this bar removed. I think it's overkill for the most part. At least on how fast this machine's gonna go. If you were pushing this as hard as a a Voron, then I wouldn't be too thrilled about it. Like if I was making this into a Mercury 1, which I will be doing to my Ender 5 Plus soon, if I was making an a Mercury 1 out of it, we'd be talking a different story. Is that a new Ender 5? Yes, it is. It's a Ender 5 S1. So, kind of new Ender 5. All right. Finally caught alive. Welcome to it. Just disassembling and modifying the machine right out of the box. LTT is coming out with a stubby version of the screwdriver. Gotta run. All right. Thanks for being here. Love the content. Thank you. And out comes that bar. All right. Gotta loosen these. LTT stubby, yes. Linus talked about it on the WAN show last night. I happened to watch WAN show for once, and Linus talked about it. So. Yep, coming out with a stubby, but, you know, who knows when. This one took 3 years to come out. So, hopefully before 2025. Anybody catch Stefan's new video? Yeah, I actually just watched it right before I went live. As I was prepping, I watched it. It was interesting. He kind of got slightly different results than I did with the AliExpress CHT. I thought that was interesting. He got different results than I did. Woo! All right. It is different. It's that the one he tested has that copper insert in the middle of it instead of the actually drilled one like the one I tested. I can't find the one that I tested available for sale. So the only one I can find is that. Oh, I just saw where the CR Touch is mounted. That's cool. I kind of like that. CR Touch is mounted behind the extrusion. Yeah, it might be a custom Seabor one. I just was surprised that if it was a custom Seabor one that they weren't selling it. But maybe that's how they're trying to avoid the, what do you call it? Wow. Patent issue is just not selling it directly. You can only get it in the kit. Okay. Let's put the bed in. Well, actually, let's see if I can, I want to do something real quick. Move my camera. Boop. All right, there's the extruder assembly. Let's take a closer look at it. Dom, you said it's just 2 screws holding it together, yeah? Oh, I see, right there. Is that the right size? Yep. All right. There is the hot end. So we've got the Sprite extruder going to a... Wow, is TikTok that far behind? That's wild. TikTok stream is like way behind. That seems odd. Yeah, okay, that's better. Okay, so Sprite extruder going to a... Looks kind of like the CR6 extruder. but it also has a mounting position for the CR, like regular Mark 8 hot end. So I wonder if a CR, a Revo CR wouldn't directly fit on here. The only problem is the shroud doesn't have any fan mounting because the hot end is the fan mount. So I have to devise a new shroud that mounts a fan for the Revo, but that might be a good option. All right. Interesting. Weird. I just wanted to take a look at it quick. Hello, all. Welcome. All right, let's put the bed in here. All right, bed assembly time. What size hardware? Oh, they actually want you to put the bed on before you... Yeah, I don't think I'm doing that. I guess I will. Fine. I'm gonna get this out of my way quick. I like these handles. Ah! I like the handles. Alright, bed. Bed extrusion mounting. So they want me to mount this to here first. With what size hardware? M325s. Everything's M525. Drill the shroud. I'll design my own. It is a thing I do. So I'll just design my own shroud that has better airflow. Looks a little better, maybe. One thing about Creality shrouds they've been using lately, this one doesn't look as bad as the regular, like the Ender 2 Pro and such, is they whistle because of the fan noise. Working on your second V0.1 and also a petrol head. Awesome. Have fun. After this, I gotta work on finishing up my 2.4. So I've got it wired. I've got it actually powered up. I've literally just got to install Clipper and configure it and just test everything. And I should be, so I'm like moments away from running and printing. 46 people, but only 14 likes. Come on, folks. I don't disagree. Thanks for the support. For shouting out that people should be liking it. Was your 2.4 a Seaboard kit? No, my 2.4 is self-sourced. I only bought that Seaboard kit just to make that video. Just liked, thank you very much. Yeah, I bought that Seaboard kit just to make that video, and that was it. So, actually, I sold it already. It went to a new home this week. So I had no intention of keeping it. Where can I get STLs for the Voron? VoronDesign.com links you to all of them. 23 now. Awesome. Thank you, folks. I would absolutely recommend buying a kit. As somebody who is self-sourced 2 Voron builds, buy a kit. I do not recommend self-sourcing. I was curious, considering the Seaboard 2.4 kit. My acquaintance, Rushmere 3D, on you can find him on Twitter and on here on YouTube, is assembling a Seaboard 2.4 kit right now, or just finished up one. I haven't kept track. Rushmere 3D, RUSHMERE. I might have a V0 S1 kit. Awesome. I want to hit up Jason about on Joel's live stream. Jason offered up a positron beta kit. I really want to hit him up about that and be like, hey man, I think I need in on that beta. So I gotta bug him. He added me on Facebook, so yeah. You ever done or intend to do an Ender 5 Mercury 1? Why, yes I do actually. Fabrico is sponsoring it. The kit is here. So I will be doing a Mercury 1 conversion on my Ender 5 Plus. probably early January. So I'm not going to have time yet this year, but I will be doing that very soon. My own custom modification of a Mercury 1. Most of it's going to be Mercury 1, but the tool head's going to be my own design, not an EVA carriage. So yes, we will be building a Mercury 1 here on the channel very soon. Yeah, I really want to build one of those positrons. I got to hit up Jason about that. You have a 0.1 on rep wrap. I really want to play with rep wrap. I actually intended to run rep wrap on my 2.4. I got the Octopus Pro board, so I could. You gonna build it live, Mercury? No, I'm not gonna build it live. Modbot is building a Mercury 1 live right now on his second channel. I was tempted to run Marlin on my V0 to piss off Clipper folks. I can't argue with that. Modbot's building one live right now. I'm gonna do a video. Doing these live builds is just so time intensive, and I'm going a little overboard with some of the stuff I'm designing for the Mercury 1. Like, I'm doing a completely new electronics box, touchscreen interface. Yeah, so like I'm going a little overboard with a couple of things on it, and just some of it's probably going to be trial and error as I'm assembling things. Be like, oh, that doesn't fit. I have to reprint this, and I don't want to have to go through that in a live stream. I'm just going to build it and do a full build video of the process and like what I liked, what I didn't like, my own part designs. I'm building a Mercury 1 Ender 5 Plus. Fabrico supplied the Mercury 1 parts and a bunch of the odds and ends I need for it. And I'm going to be running an LGX with a Revo on it for a hot end and extruder assembly from R3D. R3D, Project R3D, they have their LGX Revo where the Revo mounts directly to the LGX extruder, no Bowden, like even short Bowden tube between it. They're providing that for the hot end, so I'm going to be running that. I never get the over-the-top enthusiastic communities, just enjoy the tech. I agree. I'm not a huge fan of the Clipper community in general, just my own thing. Do you think the Orbiter V2 is good? Orbiter V2 is an excellent extruder. I run a 1.5 on my Ender 3 back there. The 2 is great. What are you working on? We are assembling the Ender 5 S1. But anyway, yes, my 2.4, my Voron 2.4, I really want to run rep wrap on that. I put Clipper on it for right now, just because I've never run rep wrap, so I want to get that machine running. I built it months ago, and I still don't have it running. I finished the wiring this week, where I had some downtime. We'll let you know when it arrives. Awesome. How much does the LGX Lite cost? You can get those with the motor for like 60, 70 bucks. I run the LGX Lite on my Voron V0, and I have one in my 2.4 as well. Love the energy, by the way. Thank you. Now for real, bye. Bye. I really want to run rep wrap firmware on my 2.4, and I probably will. I bought the Octopus board that you need for rep wrap firmware specifically, and I probably will do it. Do it. I'm just worried about two things. One, I don't know if I would prefer to set up rep wrap on Do It hardware for the first time that I run rep wrap, rather than on a port, the Team Gloomy port. I hear great things about it, but you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm going to reach out to the folks that Do It and see about getting some hardware for a project. I'm not sure what yet. I'm going to be doing my Cobra Max. I'm going to be converting to a whole new configuration, so maybe that I can do It and rep wrap on. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, now this needs to go into... Oh, I'm supposed to put those on. These is... Oh, that's what these clamp blocks are for. That's what these clamp blocks are for. All right, I get it. Do I design most of the stuff I sell? I don't sell much. I design a lot of stuff, but I don't sell much. I have a tool changer with 4 tools, running rep wrap, 0.1, another tool changer, and 2 tools my wife's father. Awesome. M520 and M525s. All right. Where are the M520s? M520s. Fixing your Ender 3 Pro. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, I really want to play with rep wrap. I really do. I want to give it the best chance I can. And I'm just not sure if running a Team Gloomy port is the right way to do the first time I run rep wrap. That's all. I hear great. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Team Gloomy folks have helped me out with a couple of projects. Like, their information is excellent. It's invaluable. But, you know, it's just that thing. Should I get anything extra for my carbon, X1 carbon? I would get extra build plates. Buy extra build plates. I've got like 3 of them for my one machine because the stickers on the X1 carbon, the surface on the build surface on the X1 carbon is a sticker and it'll peel off if you like crack the print off too soon. It's annoying. So you should really let the plates cool down before you crack the print off. So I have like 3 of the build plates so I can take a build plate out, set it aside, put another one in, and go right back to printing. I would say get extra build plates. Get extra cutters for the cutter assembly. Mine is screwed up right now. And just a couple spare nozzles. I would get the full nozzle assembly, the whole hot end. It's not that expensive. It's like 30 bucks. And it makes it a lot easier to swap in and out and not have to change all the parts over. Like I did a video on TikTok about swapping that. It was a lot more difficult than just swapping an entire hot end assembly. So. All right, 25s. Did I put the wrong hardware somewhere? I feel like I did. So I think I'm a little short. Ran rep wrap on one of my printers. It was hard to get set up. Harder to get set up. Yeah, I've heard that. That's part of why I didn't do it. I have this really bad tendency on every project I undertake of doing something I've never done before. My partner yells at me for it all the time. Yells at me. Because I always end up taking on something I've never done before. Like on my 2.4. I've never built a 2.4 before. So let's install, rep wrap on it. Well, that adds a lot of time. Just even if it's an easy thing to do, it adds a lot of time figuring it out. And that alone really slows things down. So I'm going to take this off of here real quick. I misplaced or used the improper screw somewhere. Somewhere I used the wrong screws for something. I was thinking about getting the V0 you reviewed off AliExpress. I have the money for it, so I don't have to worry about sourcing printed parts. Honestly, it's good for getting the printed parts. I actually did run into a few problems with a few problems with the extrusions. They claim they have improved the extrusion on the printed parts, I mean. They claim they've improved that. And then when I disassembled the extruder assembly, I found some cracked parts that were bad prints, so kind of not doing Ali anymore. Again, sounds rough. So many cases of soft metal. I've been having really good luck with AliExpress lately, and also their affiliate program rocks. It pays way better than Amazon. Oh, you know what? Are these the wrong screws? I feel like these might be. No, they're supposed to be 25s. I feel like I'm short 2 screws. Where did I put 25s that I shouldn't have? Nope, all 25s. Yeah, I'm short 2 25 millimeter. Oh, here they are. Okay. Big fan, keep up the great content. Thank you very much. LDGO makes excellent kits. I can't say anything bad about that. So there's that. Worse than plastic when it comes to CNC parts. That I would not trust AliExpress CNC parts. I've never bothered. I probably should at some point do that. Maybe I'll do that next year, do a CNC build. I've never done one. And my experience with building cars and such, I think I have a decent perspective on CNC parts, so that might be interesting. I didn't realize this had extrusions and these are just supports for the bed, so that's nice. That is nice. All right. Do those supports for the bed work? They're better than nothing. They are better than nothing. Is Dual Z much better? Dual Z will absolutely be better. Dual Z will absolutely be better. On the Ender 5 Pro, or well, the S1 like this, the Dual Z, your problem is going to be just... your problem is going to be that the Dual Z puts the other Z in the front, so it's kind of annoying to get to your parts once they're printed. Unlike a Ender 5 Plus, where the second Z's are to the right and left. On this, they'll be in the front and back. But that's definitely going to be superior. This is like a Band-Aid fix, but it ain't gonna hurt. It is not gonna hurt. I put printed supports on my Project Reanimator and it absolutely stiffened up the bed a bit. All right, let's get the machine back up here. Hey, don't hit the microphone. Watch any of the World Cup? Nope, I am not a sports ball person. Not much of a sports ball person of any kind. And being American, soccer is just, you know, not that big here. Well, you're out Westchester wise, so you're closer to the Union, right? Union's out your way, isn't there? I forget where they play. My buddy painted a mural at their stadium, but I've never been. Okay. This goes in. And it gets 30s. Okay. That's where these 30s go. It's Boy in Space. Sports. Yes. Sports Ben. Everybody's favorite. The sports. And there you go. That just fits. Boy, that just clears. Does it clear? Ah, I see why. There's little standoffs that just make the rods hit the Y rod. Battle Bots is the best sport. There you go, Mitch. I can get down with that. I can get down with that. If it's got a motor, I'm going to be more interested. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure. Nice to know you put it in the same way I did. Yeah, that seemed more logical to me. I don't know. I see what the instructions say, but that seemed more logical to me. I guess I'm wrong, but... All right. What is up? Hello. Folks over on TikTok, if you want to catch the live on YouTube, it's going to be better. We can be wrong and right. We're complex beasts. That's fair. Glad they made the Ender 5 less janky. I am seeing that for sure. I'm seeing a lot of things I think are vast improvements over the regular Ender 5, and that I do appreciate. The price of this thing is not cheap, though. So... there's a link in the description. Pergear sent this one over. It's a link to them, which is $5.79 for it on Amazon. I do see a lot going on here for that money. Not sure if it's worth it, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about the 4 wheels on the rollers. Feels a bit much. I don't disagree there. Feels like a lot of chance for drag and or wear. I don't see why it needs that stability. And I think this would be a really excellent... There's also a ton of space up there to linear rail convert it. Wonder how heavy the gantry is. Good question. No idea. Yeah, I see a lot of opportunity to linear rail convert this. So, how big is the build plate? 220 by 220. Is it actually 220? Tape measure. Bloop. Yeah. So, it's your typical Creality 235 by 235, but limited to 220 build volume for dumb reasons. So, it's your typical Creality 235 by 235 build plate. Except it's got notches back here. Let me try and switch camera real quick and show you. Oh, I didn't realize it has an anti-backlash nut. Neptune X and the older Ender 5s. Yeah, at this price point, it is maybe a hard sell. Let's switch cameras. Bloop. It might be hard to see here, but there are 2 screws to help locate the magnetic plate. So there's little notches in the back of the magnetic plate that you can guide these onto. I really like that. I specifically use Precise Printer Parts build plates on my Vorons, on one of my Ender 3s, because they have a similar design to that. And it makes installing plates so much easier when they have guides, like a Prusa does. Yeah, I really wish more folks did it, because like lining up a PEI spring steel sheet without guide pins, such a pain, especially on my Ender 5 Plus where it has a 370 by 375 like huge plate. That is really annoying. That's the Mercury 1 conversion I'm doing. I'm actually not. I hate to say it. Hector sent me a. Hector sent over one of his build plates for the build. And I'm using a Precise Printer Parts one. I had the Precise Printer Parts one already in stock, but I'm going to use it because I like those alignment pins, and he doesn't have those alignment pins. I am going to test to see which one is better, his or... Oh, somebody wants to get banned on TikTok. Awesome. Want to try his CF build plate. Yeah, that's interesting. He sent me a Honey Badger build plate, not a CF build plate. But I mean the actual bed, the MIC6 aluminum bed. Yeah, so whatever. I'm going that direction. All right. Electronics away from firing up, I think. So let's get some wiring connections done. Z limit switch. That's easy. Z motor. But yeah, it has an anti-backlash nut on here. I like that. It's a brass anti-backlash nut. Not sure how I feel about that, but better than not having one. I probably prefer a palm one, personally. All right, harness. So we've got... Now, let me see what they want me to do. Make sure I'm not missing something. Those are... Oh, those braces. I haven't put the braces in yet. Well, that's really straightforward. Oh, there's a nice clip up here for the motor wiring. That's cool. All right, let's do that. There's a clip in the back up here for the gantry wiring to pass through. A little tight, but it works. There's some guides on the side here for it, it looks like. For the Y motor, or the X motor wiring, I mean. And the X limit switch. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. And then we got the Sprite extruder connector on top here. And a clip to fit that into. That's a little tight. And I don't like how much it sags down. Sorry I'm late. What are we doing? We are building an Ender 5 S1. Ender 5 S1 we're putting together. Welcome to it. Y switch. Y motor and switch. I guess might fit through here. Not really. Let's get these connected. These wires feel kind of cheesy. They're not as stout as I'm used to. $100 more could have been unstoppable. Bed's a little shaky. Interesting. This is the Ender 5 S1. There isn't a Pro model. Nope. Ender 5 S1. So honestly, it's a big step up over the regular Ender 5 Pro as far as most of the pieces I'm seeing. So Jesus, what would I recommend? Not cheap, not expensive. What's not cheap, not expensive is the question. That is a very broad sentence to me. You can give me some detail on that. The most out of the box push button go machines you're gonna get is Prusa Mark III. I'm not a big fan of it, but for the mid price point, less sub $1,000, that's there. But honestly, the Bamboo Labs machines, the X1 Carbon at like $1,400 is an all-around beast of a machine for that price. Or the new P1P is actually cheaper than the Prusa, and you get basically the same out-of-the-box experience, though I don't have any personal experience with that one. So let's tie this cable in here. Neptune 2S Stealth Burner. I've seen it done. What don't you like about the Prusa? I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I talked about my dislike of my Prusa. I actually sold my Prusa. Volume of the machines. Yeah. In the next video, Dom, I'm going to be putting Noctua fans on my X1. I'm fairly sure. How hard is it to take the Ender 3 V2 to 400 by 400? The P1P was slightly disappointing to him. Yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily agree with some of his critiques. Stefan's critiques, like the screen thing. I didn't get that. Like, he was really critiquing the screen as being low quality, but like they had to cut corners somewhere, and the screen on the Prusa isn't high quality. Like, I don't really understand that. Because it doesn't have stepper drivers. I don't think that's really the problem so much. The motors aren't that loud. It's the mechanical system that's really annoyingly loud, I think. And the fans. The fans are ridiculous. So, I don't know. If I was to start a print farm, what would I buy multiple of right now? The X1 Carbon. If I was going to start a print farm and I just wanted to buy multiple machines to run and go, I'd get a couple of X1 Carbons personally, or P1Ps. Do they use linear? I forget. The X1 uses dryland bearings. The X1 uses dryland bearings. I don't know what the P1P does. Have a Mark III and a Mini. Love them. A lot of folks love those machines. I personally don't. Yeah. The screen on the Mark III is... They really need a Mark IV. They really need to do a Mark IV update. Okay, I think we've got everything except the runout sensor plugged in. I'm going to stick this through here. Kind of weird. Can I reach that? Yes. Okay. All right, there is a Bowden tube somewhere here. That's not it. Where'd I just... Oh. Where'd I put the Bowden tube? I saw it. No. Oh, I saw a Bowden tube. A reverse Bowden, that is. Flexible flat cable clip. What's this for? Where's it go? Prusa Mark IV with the same screen and connectivity as the Mini. Yeah, they really need to... They need to put a 32-bit board on the Prusa, in my opinion. In the back here for the flat cable. Thank you. Okay. I gotta put these braces in, spool holder on, and we can get to printing. Well, we can get to setup and then printing. Prusa will absolutely update the Mark III. They've just got to get the XL shipped. I don't think they want to update the Mark III until they get the XL shipped, because people are really waiting on that. That's my impression anyway. That is my impression anyway. What are you using for lighting in the background? I use cheap-ass junk RGB floodlights from Amazon. You can kind of see right here is one. Cheap RGB flash floodlights. Yeah, they hinted at the Mark IV right after the XL. I'm sure they're already worked up, the Mark IV, and or are just like finalizing things. They look good. Thank you. They have issues, but they work. I will be upgrading that stuff next year, but, you know, can only do so much at a time when it comes to upgrading the space. Yeah. If I could justify the cost of the XL, I have one on pre-order. I have an XL on pre-order. Project R3D coming in with the $100 super chat. Thank you, folks. In Columbus, there's an awesome vegan spot called Satan's Realm. Oh, I like that. Satan's Realm. I've been to Columbus before. I don't remember. It's been years since I've been to Columbus. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'll have to come out and visit you folks sometime. Maybe we can go check that place out. Maybe we can do that in 2023. Yeah, no, they will not release deets on that until they get around to releasing the XL. The XL is just too big a thing. Yes, Project R3D in the house. Thank you very much. Working with Project R3D on a couple of upcoming projects, actually. So thank you for the support in multiple ways, folks. Be talking about some of their setups more in the near future. XL and Trilab 700 plus in shipping to Northeast US. I think I would not be surprised. I do not have any info on this, but I would not be surprised, pure speculation on my part, that part of the reason that they bought Printed Solid was to have a distribution center better pricing situation in the US. Because if they're bulk shipping to Printed Solid, they can absolutely get better pricing. Yep, there we go. Project R3D agreeing with me. I think that's the reason they bought Printed Solid. I think that is absolutely why they bought Printed Solid, was to have a US-based company where they could warehouse things, cheaper shipping to there, all that. Yeah. Okay. And also the service factor. Appreciation manufacturing, that's possible. I think the service and the shipping are the bigger issues. Bigger logical steps. Good point. The customs duties are a different situation since it's now there's a U.S. branch of the company. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that, for having a U.S. business base for their company. All right, folks, I think we are ready to fire this thing up. Missing the Bowden tube, still don't see it. I know it was here. I saw it when I unboxed. But my studio is a disaster right now. Printed Solid isn't that far from here. Yeah, they're not. I'm friendly with Dustin and a little bit with Dave down there at Printed Solid. I go down there all the time. I haven't been in a while, but Printed Solid is my go-to, like, emergency spot for the most part. Like, I buy stuff for my Warons and such from them, but when I absolutely need something in a pinch, they're my spot to go because it's only 45 minutes from me here. So, you know, 2-hour round trip, I can go get what I need right now to get through a project. I've done that multiple times. Got a couple pieces left over, nothing major, except for the part of the whole taking the bar out of there thing. But, you know, that is what it is. All right. Let's get this fired up. Okay. Took a second. Waiting for the screen to kick. Oh, it is on. It's just got a bad view angle. There's no 3D printing supply OG shop here in South Texas. Yeah, unfortunately, South Texas, you're going to run into that. Yeah, I couldn't see them running the PS lines for Pergear anytime soon. I agree with that as well. They're really set up for producing Jesse PLA. I don't think they'll do Pergear filament until they can have dedicated lines for Pergear filament. But yeah. North Texas here. Cool. I know there's a couple of 3D printer companies in Austin. I've actually got to get back to one of them. Or having, like, industrial companies to my knowledge. But, Austin and... Oh, no. I was thinking of somebody else there in Vegas. But... Oh, I see where those clips are supposed to go. I'm not worried about those for right now. Alright. Please follow the steps. Auxiliary, auto leveling, Z-axis compensation. Alright. Prepare. Why is the bed going down so far? Oh, hitting the Z-stop. Duh. Built a switch wire, but ran into firmware and electrical issues. I'm following the instructions. I see what you say. The instructions: auxiliary leveling, auto leveling, Z compensation for leveling. I'll probably do it both ways. Looks like it's only a 5-point level anyway. They're more south. It's about a 5-hour drive. 2.4 over a switch wire, you'll get more bang for your buck. I agree with that as well. I think the only folks making a bed slinger switch wire type thing, Project R3D with their Apollo. And honestly, if you're going to build a switch wire and really go for it, buying Project R3D's Apollo is probably a better bet for the price they're selling it for. You actually took the springs and... This only has silicone. Are there springs inside the silicone? Mine only has silicone spacers. What is it doing? I'm not crazy, right? You're seeing this, right? Springs inside, What are you doing, machine? E203. Lovely. Good start. Good start. And it's errored out and won't do anything. Awesome. Good start. Yeah, I always recommend buying a kit. I self-sourced my last two Vorons, the V0. Well, no, not my last two. The two before that. My V0 I still have, and my 2.4. Yeah, bad start. I wonder what's causing it. It's not like it's hitting anything. Let's see if I can manually move the Z-axis up. It's insisting on homing. Just fine, whatever. Okay. Is it a nightmare building a Voron? Builds the switch wire on hard mode, I see. I don't think it's a nightmare. A V0 is fiddly because everything's so damn small. But yeah, it absolutely depends on the person. Depends on your personal level of experience. The hardest part about building a Voron is wiring and or electrical configuration can be, I think, the most challenging for a lot of folks, and squaring things up. You really got to get things square and proper in that way. So damn it, this touchscreen is too finicky. This is annoying. I want to see if I can manually move it, if it's going to bind somewhere. I'll just be here hitting this button over and over again. And of course the 0.1mm button is right above the up arrow. So if I hit that, I'll accidentally only move 0.1mm. I wonder if the Z rails are binding. I have an Ender 5 Plus. Do you have any leveling tips? Your best thing on an Ender 5 Plus for leveling? Okay, I think I see what's happening here. It won't go up any higher because it thinks it's zeroed out. Huh. It currently thinks it's at 0 on bed. A lot of mediocre Vorons out there. I agree with that as well. Best part of Clipper install is it now uses the CR Touch to home. I don't know why they wouldn't have done that here. Why set this up with a Z limit switch? Why not use Z safe homing? I don't get that. Okay, there's the problem. Problem discovered. So currently, it thinks it's at 106 millimeters on the Z. It doesn't realize that it's at 280 millimeters. What do I do about that? It just homed and thinks that it's like up here. That's why our problem is it's going as high as the firmware allows and it's hitting a problem. Huh. I'm not seeing where... Alright, I gotta turn this a little bit so I can see it better. Yeah, right now it thinks it's at 106 millimeter height. So that's why it's doing it. I can't. When it homes, it thinks it's at 106 millimeters, as if the build volume is limited. Huh. Well, what do I do? Oh, wait. I'm gonna let it skip for a while. I'm doing this on purpose, I swear. It's not good for the machine, but I'm doing it. Here's what the problem is. Some odd reason it's not figuring out that it's homing, because wherever the bed was, it detected only going so far. Yeah, it won't hurt it much. Sounds like a machine gun, yeah. I just commanded it to go to the full build height, is what I did there, and just let it skip trying to get to that point. The Z limit switch is working. The problem is it's hitting the Z limit switch and thinks that it's only at a certain height, but it's not. Doesn't make a lot of sense there. Okay, home Z. Okay, now it knows it's at the proper height. I just had to fool it into thinking it was... Some odd reason it fooled itself into being at the wrong height. Maybe factory reset, yeah. Sounds like the offset's off a bit. The offset's off. Oh, it did it again. It thinks it's at 106 millimeters now. That is so weird. Let's try a factory reset, sure. Restore all set. I don't know. I'm commanding it to 0 now. Yeah, see there, it's weird. Pure curiosity, if I throw a card in and hit print, what's it gonna do? This launch was a mess. It's looking like it's still a mess. Pure curiosity, what's gonna happen? It's yelling at me because there's no filament. I just want to see if it'll home. It's all I'm worried about. Is there such a thing as a standard board? Yeah, firmware update's kind of where I'm thinking. I think that might be where we head next. Yeah, no, there is no such thing as a standard Creality board anymore. They throw in whatever these days. This one doesn't even have a name on it. It's not a 4.2.7. It's not a 4. It's just a Creality. I do not have an order for a P1P in. I have an X1. I couldn't justify ordering a P1P. I've got too many other things to be building, playing with. I couldn't justify it personally. Let's see if there is Ender 5 S1 firmware available. Download firmware. They actually released firmware this week. Twitter DMs. All right. Yeah, there's a new firmware that came out this week. I think we're going to do that. When did I commit to YouTube full time? Both. A little over a year ago. Sick. The printer you guys had at Earth was sick. Yes. Their dataless is a rad machine. Which I need to hit you folks up about that. I think I have a project we could maybe work together on with that. But, do you have any idea why Creality didn't go Core XY? They don't need to. The regular kinematic system like this still works fine. Maybe if you unplug the Z motor and then plug it back in. Yeah, I'm gonna try swapping the firmware. There is a firmware update that has come out since I got this machine. So I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that. Let's give it a try, because the way it's behaving kind of feels like a firmware issue to me. Oh, you were told it was going to be Core XY. That sucks. Alright. I need to get a USB hub on this desk. Oh boy. What is going on here? Oh, that's neat. The SD card actually has the previous firmware on the card. Bootloader. Do I have to flash a bootloader and then flash the firmware? Be nice if there were any instructions in here. You have to put the STM32 folder unzipped in. Oh boy, yeah. Okay. This is weird. STM32, okay, copy that to the card. Paste. Lose the bin. That's what I had to do to mine. Okay. Release notes. Lovely. Release notes are yeah, there are no instructions. Are you understanding why I said yes to the Sonic Pad? Yes, I am. This thing is not great. It has its own caveats. Yeah, actually, my Voron 2.4, I ran into a problem this week when I was working on it. My X gantry was out of square. I swore I had it squared up when I built the machine, so I was really confused. So I like half disassembled my X gantry, and it turned out my problem was one of my belts was tighter than the other one, and it was pulling the X gantry out of square. So I actually had to square it up physically, put it back in, tighten the other belt up. It was a weird situation. First time I really ran into that. But, okay. I think... So do I have to put the bootloader on here as well? This is dumb. It would also be nice if there were any instructions in this, at all. How do you fix a sound out of sync? It's probably on my end because I'm running a different configuration for my audio this week. Sorry, I tried fixing it earlier and I made it worse, so we kind of just deal with it. Yeah, there's really next to nothing. Yeah, there is really next to nothing. Firmware install. Anybody written anything about this so far? Creality after sale. Okay. Flashing the firmware. Let's watch a video together. This is dumb. Let's show you folks this video with me. I can't hear it if it's playing you awful things, sorry. Yeah, cool. None of this is what I care about. Extract. Flash the mainboard firmware. This is dumb. Off to an excellent start. Okay, drag the folder in. Just the whole folder? No, the STM32, yeah. This is riveting content right here, I'll tell you. Okay, it's just that folder I need. Why is the bootloader there then? Whatever. Back to the main shot. Okay, then remove that. Kick it out. Oh, this is a total fail at the moment. Quality comes with a price, yeah. Oh, it's a mess. I mean, to be fair, maybe there was something wrong that I could have addressed to get it to home properly. I don't know. May never know. So, we're flashing the firmware. I'm double checking. There seems to be a secondary update for the screen, maybe? Oh my god. There's a separate screen update. I'm going to see if I can do this without having to do that. Okay, we're on the 1.04 firmware now. No regular buyer would have a clue. Absolutely. 100% correct. Okay, let's home this thing now. And see what happens. That was stupid. I'm glad that this is the peak viewership on the live stream too. Good luck on you, Creality. Good luck on you. Nope, it's doing it again. 106.8. It thinks that the Z is at 106.8, even with the new firmware. I don't know what's up with that. Okay. Where's Z offset? There. This is dumb. At least the handles are awesome. The handles are nice. Fully agree Prusa needs updates, but this is an experience that people have. You are not wrong. You're not wrong. And then the manual tells me auxiliary leveling. Leveling method, auxiliary leveling. Auto leveling. I'm just gonna see what happens. It's gonna get halfway up and stop. There's a way to clear the EEPROM from the screen. There's a way to do a full reset, which I believe is basically the same thing. But otherwise I'll have to hook up. It's USB-C. Pronter face and calibrate Z. The problem is it thinks it's buys a $600 printer, $8 handles. Yeah, see? It gets up to the 0 point and it doesn't know why it's not there yet, so it stops. See, the problem is, currently it thinks when it's all the way down, it's at 106 millimeters. So it travels 106 millimeters up, and then it says, wait, we haven't hit the Z switch yet, so what's going on here? What if I kick the switch? Yeah, same thing. Air it out. I don't know, folks. I'm not sure we're going to get this thing up and running. Let me try and search if anybody else has had this problem yet. Could I move the Z Max switch up? Not really. I'd have to shim it to move it at all. But I wonder if I manually move up the Z and then home it so it actually travels the full distance. It seems like it's almost... bought some Arctic teal. It's beautiful. Awesome. There's some Arctic teal right here. It seems like it's almost calculating the Z distance off of where it initially was, but that doesn't make any sense because it keeps ending up in the same point. I'm just going to go max, right up to the nozzle. This doesn't make any sense. I realize that. The machine should not know where it is right now. This shouldn't be a thing. Jim from Edge of Tech is unboxing it as well. Error 203 is a probing error. Yeah, I don't know we're gonna get past this. Wait for it. Nope, did it again. It says 280 on the screen at Z. For the Z distance, it says 280. And then as soon as the X and Y home, it switches to 106.8. So it's just stuck there. I'm going to try what I tried before. Let's sound like a machine gun for a little bit. It won't do it now. The new firmware won't do it. There we go. I don't care. Akuma mods? Yeah. Did you ever get yours figured out? Your Ender 5. Looks like you're having problems just like Akuma. Somebody on TikTok just said that, Matt. Yeah, I am. This thing, not going good. Naughty firmware gets the machine gun noises. Yeah. This is annoying. Hey! Okay. Hearing the Sonic Pad fixes your problem. Dom in here has a Sonic Pad on his version of this, and he's liking it so far, so. Okay. Now let's try an auto level. Let's see what happens. Leveling. Auto level. Start. Oh, now it's gonna... Nope, it's rehoming, so it's gonna reset. Have a Sonic Pad, you might put it on tonight. Awesome. I don't have one. So I might just end up clipperizing this or something. We'll see. Realistically, if I can't get this going here soon, I'm going to have to end the live, and I'm just going to have to... Yep, see? Same thing. Can you type the Z in like your Ender 5 Plus? Yes. But the problem is when it goes to home again, because it's not using Z-Safe homing, which it should be, because it's using a Z-Max switch, it only gets up to the certain height and it stops again. I was waiting for Marlin 2.1.2, but got bored. Yeah. It's not using the probe to home. It's using the Z-Max switch to home. Matt, the problem it's having is when it homes, when it hits the Z-Max switch, it thinks it's at 106 millimeters. Are the home offsets maybe that far off? I mean, that's effectively how it's behaving. It's behaving like the home offset is half the Z distance, so it's just totally screwed up. Did I just nonchalantly pull a jug out of tea out of nowhere? Yeah. It's how we do. Did you try restarting it, Matt? I've already flashed the firmware on it in this stream. Yeah, it uses the Z-Max switch to home, not the probe, which is the problem. If it was using Z-Safe homing, this would be non-problem. Or at least this particular problem wouldn't be occurring. So yeah, they're looking real good right now. But yeah. Wawa iced tea. Have you tried unplugging the Z switch? I don't think that's going to be a good idea because it's using the Z Max as a homing switch. We'll try it and see what happens. I just unplugged it. Yeah. Did you level your bed? Gee, thanks. Yeah, see? The Z Max switch isn't even plugged in, and it thinks it's at 106.8 millimeters right now. It's not even plugged in. Something's just off there. Something wrong, but I updated the firmware, so how could that even... Wiring good, plugs are okay. Come into the chat real quick and nuke that person. Report. Oh, look, a spammer. Yep. Hide user from channel. Okay. Bye-bye. What's happening again? Sure, it was correct firmware. It was the correct firmware. Yeah. Okay, is there home offset move in here? Steps, max speed, acceleration. Oh, acceleration set to 3000 max. Yeah, we're on the 1.04 firmware for the Ender 5 S1. There is no home offsets. I'm going to restore all set. Contacts making good contact. Short of ohming them out, I can't tell. Have I tried older version of the firmware? Unfortunately, being Creality, there's only the newest version on the website. So, I wonder if GitHub has it. Ender 5 S1. Maybe you should dry your filament. Have you tried setting your E-steps? Have you tried your E-steps? Plugs in the correct location if unplugged and still reading. I mean, it's unplugged and still homing. Maybe the board with a loose contact on the Z. Maybe. No, nothing there. Okay, let's get into the case. Ugh. Woo. Back into the electronics case we go. I'm gonna switch cameras real quick. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Do you have your retractions tuned? No, I don't. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, let's get into here. It's gonna be noisy for a second, sorry. I could use, you are correct, R3D. I could use Pronterface and probably reset home offset. I can do that. I'm worried there's something wrong before I would go doing that. And my problem is more so, like, effectively, it's dumb, but effectively what I did when I, you know, caused it to skip its steps to 280 is do that. I effectively did that in a dumb way. But the problem is, as soon as I go to start a print or anything, it's going to rehome. And as soon as it rehomes, as soon as a G28 goes through, it resets to that 106. So I'd almost have to add start G code to tell it after the G28 that it's actually at 280 millimeter. You know what I mean? Like, that's getting weird. I have to add a home offset into the start G code, which can be done and is done, but okay, where's my Z switch? Yep. The Z plug is a clip-in one of these like proprietary connectors. Get the frickin' gunk off of it. And this is why people buy printers from companies like Project R3D. Okay. The carriage just fell because I unplugged the because I unplugged it while it was under power. Not a great idea. Yeah, so the fact that the Y is working properly but the Z isn't because they're actually tied together. Hot snot be gone. Yep. I'm just looking if anything looks out of place in here. It really doesn't. All right. Lovely. I think it's going to end up being a real disappointing stream. We're not getting a first print out of this, I don't think. I don't think we're getting a first print out of this. And I'm kind of at a point too. Part of the problem right now is that I almost want to stop the stream and document this, unfortunately. Like, film what it's doing. I kind of want to stop and film what it's doing, so if I do a review video, or at the very least just make a point about this. Happy Merry Christmas Hanukkah Quandamus. Thank you very much. $9.99 coming in from 3D Obsession. Very appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Yeah, I almost feel like I need to, did you try resetting the router? Have you tried turning it off and on again? I feel like I need to stop and document this so I have footage of what is happening for a review video. Because clearly there's something wrong out of the box. And even if it's a dumb thing that I'm not figuring out, that we all together are not figuring out, I feel like it needs to be documented. So, because clearly if it's happening to me, it's going to happen to somebody else. Or could happen to somebody else. And in that respect, it kind of needs to be documented and addressed. That sucks. Like 2 hours into a stream and I don't think we're going to get any further. Let me see if I can find a USB-C cable and Pronter. Oh, I can't. I can't do it anyway. I don't have Pronterface right now accessible to me because the computer I use here in the studio is a Mac. And unfortunately, Pronterface doesn't work on Macs. Joy. Could the Z motor be reversed? I thought that was what was happening at very first, but no. Because the Z motor, it's traveling up. The problem is that it thinks it's at 106 millimeters right now. Let me look. Yeah. It thinks right now the bed being all the way down at 280 millimeters is at 106.8 millimeters. So the firmware limits of the firmware is going to tell it you can't go past, you know, -10 or something like that. So that it won't, you know, smash the shit out of the hot end. And it's just not letting it go. So, because when it tries to use the probe to actually level the bed, it tries to head up, it gets to that limit, and it stops. Exactly. Project R3D has it exactly what I think's happening here. It's basically, it's sending for some totally fucked up reason, it's sending basically like an M92 Z106 instead of a Z280. Exactly. But the problem is, like I said, if I tell it, okay, I could Pronterface in and do that. I could do an M92 Z280 and tell it, no, you're at 280. But then as soon as it homes again, it's going to think it's back at 106. So I'd have to put that into the start G code. I guess that might work after G28, home, M92, Z280. That might work, but again, we're into the territory where I think I need to stop and film this. Like, I can only do so much on a live stream. I need to be able to document this for a review, because if this is the way the machine's going to behave, it's a serious problem. Their software limit is 280, but their M92 is wrong. Yeah, effectively. Some unintelligible reason. And you know what it is, probably, now that I think about that. Let's try and see about updating the firmware on the screen before I totally give up. Because you got to think about this. If the screen is most likely functioning, yeet it. That's the only solution. Replace it with a dataless. That's the solution. No, this is not running Clipper. No, this is Marlin. Hey Mandic, so the plate arrived, but now the issue is apparently when it broke the old plate, it also broke the Z-belt. What are you talking about, Neil? I'm not 100% what you're talking about. Oh, the bolt? You're talking about? Oh, the row stock guy. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, see, here's the thing that just dawned on me. If this screen, I think this screen is functioning the same way like a Big Tree Tech screen works. I don't know for sure how Creality screens work. I know Big Tree Tech screens effectively just send G-code commands to do everything. All they are is an interface. You push a button. You want me to send a 1.05 beta over? Yes, please do, Dominic. Or Domenico. I always do that with your name. I'm sorry. They're sending G-code commands. So the problem could lie in the screen sending the M92 improperly. Let me see. There is a way to update the firmware on the screen. And I think that's in the package that I got. Ay. Image. Okay. Icon. Okay. True font. Bin. So did I put all this on here? Looks like. Copy. Where's a card? I had a card here. Yeah, there we go. Email to send it to alan@mandicreally.com. alan@mandicreally.com. Now I need a micro SD card for the screen. Let's shut this thing off. Let's try this. This is the most Creality stream that could be a Creality stream. Take care, everyone. Thank you for being here, Project R3D. Thank you for being part of the chaos. Appreciate it. Goes dead blank after you, yeah. That makes sense. All right. Jeez, we're hitting an all-time high, and this thing is just sitting here dead, effectively. Lovely. All right. I'm going to copy that to the card. Paste. Let's lose this. I don't want the Clipper firmware I currently have on this card to be on there. That might screw things up. I double check I'm doing this right. Honestly, I like Ender 3s. I think Ender 3s are solid printers, but they've been around so long. Don't you love new tech from cheap companies? Yep. And this is one of the problems that I have with Creality right now, is they keep changing things so much from the way their machines were. And they keep doing this, where they change out the hardware that they have that's already reliable and proven, and they just throw in the next new thing. And, oh, we can't get that, so let's get the next new thing. And they keep changing things so much that you run into these problems. Okay, I'm double checking how to update the screen firmware. I think I know what I'm doing here, but have I had stringing issues with the marble filament from Inland? No. I have not. I have not personally had a problem with stringing and marble filament from Inland. I've used it. I have a print around here somewhere that I've used it on. Can you manually move the bed up beyond that point? I did. I moved the bed all the way up to its highest position manually, and then had it home. So I hoped maybe it would tell it, oh, you've gone 280 millimeters. It didn't. Didn't work that way. The problem is something is telling the machine you're in the wrong position after it homes. What's the problem? It's the machine is not homing properly. It homes and then thinks it's like up here, so it won't print effectively. A little hard to explain, but let's break this thing open again. I gotta get this SD card out of here. Yeah, it won't home correctly. I have a printer I built from 8 years ago. It still works fine, rocking an MKS base 2 board. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for just like reliable old stuff. Okay, SD card for the screen. Let's get in here. Let's get in here. Make sure I'm in a proper position. Yeah, it looks good. Bloop. Microphone. This is stupid. Even if I can fix this right now, what person, like if somebody bought this as their first printer, how would they ever think or know to do this, you know? Had that issue the other day on my end. Figure I've already updated the firmware in here, but we haven't updated the firmware on the screen. That's what we're about to do. Want to build a Voron? Part of love. I love the way they work. Helped me immensely with getting. All right, let's get. We got a little micro SD card. It's got to go into the screen. All right. I'm going to fire it up now and watch the screen for a second. Screen is firmware updating. Oh. All right, screen firmware is being updated. You've only missed chaos if you missed the stream to this point. So, all you've missed to this point is pure chaos. Thank you for being here. It's a wild ride. It's going to take a long time for the screen firmware to update, I think, so. If I have a Pi set up somewhere, yeah, I might be able to octoprint it. I have a Pi around here I think has octoprint on it already. I forget where I put it. I've been trying to organize the shop lately, so I, of course, don't know where anything is right now. I do have a Raspberry Pi 4 around here somewhere with octoprint on it already. If this doesn't fix it, we're calling it done. Unless... do we go whole hog and clipperize it? Can I find the clipper config? When I left, you were still assembling. We're still trying to get the thing to work, so welcome back. I've been trying to get the thing to frickin' run for a while now. I've got this Pi 4. This Pi 4 has Raspbian on it right now, I think. Got a wave share screen with a Pi attached to it there. That would look pretty good on the front of this machine, wouldn't it? This wide screen. It would fit, actually, really nicely. That might be a thought. I just don't know how clipper screen would work on this screen. This really wide, weird aspect ratio. I think the screen firmware update is done. I think it's done. Yeah. All right. Turn it off. SD card out. Turn it back on. Let's see if I bricked it. Let's see if I bricked it. Alright, screen's back up. Let's put the bottom panel back on for the moment. Even if I do anything further from here, I'm going to end up doing it through the USB port. Even if I do anything further, it'll be through the USB port, so... ay, 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 Creality. All right. Let's see what happens now. I'm gonna check settings, make sure we updated. Yep, I'm on the current screen firmware. We need you to pull this through. All right, let's give it a go. Z homing. Fingers crossed. Nope. Immediately the Z106.8 pops up. Let's see if I can get it on camera so you folks can see what I'm talking about. You're never going to see this. Yeah, just trust me that it says Z106.8 right there. Ah, this thing. The 105 should be in my inbox, so let's try that. Dom sent over a beta firmware. Checking my email. Sent me a setup Pronterface on Mac. Okay. Checking my messages. I don't see your message. Oh. No. That's spam. Yeah, I don't see your message. Okay, Dom got me the Otherwise, the machine's just DOA. Yeah. Alright, downloading. Alright, the firmware that Dom sent over. Now see, this doesn't have the screen firmware, it's just the board firmware, but let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Ugh. I don't know what else we can do. Not right now, anyway. Copy. Paste. Eject. Let's try it again. Updating firmware for the second time. Third time, technically, if you count the screen. Oh, okay. You didn't send Roy. You didn't send me the message. You didn't send a message. You tweeted it. Got it. I don't know that this is correct. Download. Unless something has changed very recently, I don't think this information is correct. Releases. Yeah, because the problem in Mac OS for running Pronterface. Yeah. Safe to say it won't be extruding any of the filament from the factory test. I do believe you're correct on that. The problem with the let's check the firmware. Okay, we're on the new firmware. Ain't gonna work, but the problem with Pronterface on Mac is that it is a 32-bit application, and the newer Mac OS releases cannot run 32-bit applications. Has to be 64-bit, and Pronterface hasn't been updated in so long that it's still only 32-bit. Okay. Nope. As soon as Z homes, it says 106. I'm just going to try and start a print. I'm going to put the spool holder on. Haven't done that yet. Must be hardware then. There's something wrong. Someone had the same problem? I haven't seen anybody else have this problem yet, but I'd be happy to find any info. Watch it print perfect. Yeah. Yeah, watch. You can't manually home it, but is the motor connector wires swapped? No. The motor is going the proper direction. That's not the problem. The motor is traveling the direction it's supposed to travel. Is this supposed to be up here? It's supposed to be up here. That's my problem. Sensorless homing. No. Homing, manual homing is an add-on. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a default feature. I know the issue, it's Creality firmware. Okay. Right about here is where it should stop. Are you fucking kidding me? Now it's going. I literally just went back to the leveling menu the same as I did before. I don't know if the firmware change fixed it or what. What has it been now? Over half an hour of fucking with this thing. It's been easily over half an hour. Love it. Love it. Let's see what happens if I do the auto level. Let's see what happens with the auto level. I gotta get the spool holder on here. Where is the spool holder? Did I not get it out of the box? Yeah. I don't see it. It would help if my studio wasn't a total disaster. Okay, it has homed. Let's see what it does now. Now is where it kept fucking up, is the auto level process. Or one of the places. It's on the machine. There's no, I mean the actual rod, like the part the spool sits on. The tube or whatever the sits on. I guess I'm gonna rob it off another Creality machine in a second. Oh, now it's working. I think Dom's firmware fixed it. Sorry it took you so long, but you're welcome. Thank you, Dom. I don't know what the fuck what your firmware fixed, but it seems to have figured its shit out. This is all fun. It's boring watching it print. That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. Hey, we're leveling. Okay, I'm gonna look for a spool holder real quick. Y'all watch paint dry. Gotta love undocumented beta firmware. Thank you for having it, Dom. I would have had to email them and bitch about it, and yeah. I'm still gonna bitch about it, but see, now what are we gonna do? I know what we can do. When this starts printing, I've got something else I can unbox. So we'll get this to the point where it's unboxing or where it's printing, and I will unbox something else. I'll show you folks in a second. I wasn't going to, but you'll get a sneak peek on something. Great job pulling through. Hey, Dom is the savior here. Dom saved us, folks. Dom is the one who saved us with the beta firmware. More handles. No more handles. What should we print first? What color should we print also? We did purple on the Neptune 2. I don't love that. I also don't love there's no Bowden tube. Oh, there's the Bowden tube. I just found the box that has the Bowden tube and the pink. Pink's a good idea. Yeah, I just found the box that has the Bowden tube and the rainbow. I don't think I have any rainbow at the moment. Something multicolor. Oh, okay. Let's do fuchsia, orange. Where is... I've got some good multicolor stuff. Hold on. Well, there's not very much of it, but this is this is Sunrise. Yeah, Sunrise from Cookie CAD. This ought to be enough for a test print. Let's do this. I love the folks at Cookie CAD are wonderful. I forgot to look. I was at Micro Center yesterday. I meant to look to see if they're carrying their filament yet. They're supposed to. I don't love that there's not a positive catch on this. Cookie CAD filament is great. Agreed. Alright. I'm going to cut an angle on the tip of this. I think there's only 2 files loaded up on the SD card. Samsung never said take off the base connectors. Yeah. Where's the Z offset? Where in the menu is the Z offset? I'm gonna home it and try and set Z offset quick. Clearing out some junk over here. Ay, ay, ay. I think this has been my most eventful unboxing stream. I think. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I just pressed. These cheaper printers have the most random UI layouts. Yes. And also it irritates me if there's no consistency between them. From the Ender 5 Plus to this to an Ender 3, like each one's different. Okay. Alright. I really have to go and point... The up button and the home button are like that far apart from each other. So without looking at it, I just hit the home button and now it's going to do that whole process over again. Nice, my first live streams, they go downhill from here. Who knows? Who freaking knows? The next live stream I know I have planned, I've got two coming up. I have an FL Sun, a Tesla experience. Yeah, it's Tesla UI. Now you see why I installed Clipper. Yes, I do. Is it bad I find this super funny? No. No, it's not. It's hilarious. I would be laughing my ass off too. if I wasn't right here. Time for glasses or contacts. No, I can see it just fine. It's just that literally the touch box, the touch boxes for the two buttons are basically touching. So if you hit it just wrong, you hit the home button. When Clipper is the easier option, you know you messed up. Good point, Dom. What was the fix? Dom sent me a beta firmware that is not publicly available. That seems to have fixed it. No idea why. Okay, let's carefully hit the button. This is annoying. This is the problem, is it's so far away and I have to go in 0.01 increments. Which is nice that I can go in 0.01 increments. But I have to. Oh my god, this is irritating. This machine, if I wasn't already bald, this machine would have made me it by now. I'm at 1.01 millimeters, going 1.01 millimeters at a time. Might be able to hold the button down. Oh, that is doing it. Okay, thank you. This is why 3D printing is a hobby and not something professional. This is why professional printers exist, is the best thing I can say. Alright, that's a little loose, but I think once it's heated up, it'll be alright. It overshot when I held it. So, okay, we have a Z offset set. Do we want to print? We got two options. I just set Z, yeah. The rabbit or the boat? I assume a boat is a benchy. So, rabbit or benchy? Joshua voting for the boat. A vote for the boat. Any more votes? Boat. We got two boats. Rabbit, rabbit. We're tied on rabbit. Rabbit's up. Benchy is tiny. I'm sure the rabbit's probably the same size as a benchy. Take us to the harbor. Bench, robot. We're kind of splitting the difference here. I think we're pretty evenly split, so I don't think I have a coin on me. I want to flip a coin. What do I have to flip? Benchy's 53 minutes. Fuck that. Let's go with the rabbit. Screw it. Let's do something different. We're going with the rabbit. Let's see what happens. Oh, and we'll push the speed. We will. Don't worry. What was the fault in the end? I have no idea. Domenico sent me a updated firmware that's a beta release, not publicly available, and that seems to have corrected it. No idea why. I tried the factory firmware it came with was 1.03. I tried 1.04. Both of those didn't work. He sent me 1.05, and that seems to have worked. Don't know. A bug, yeah. What was the problem? Creality. Creality was there's the problem. The problem was Creality. Okay, I'm going to make sure this is heading off toward printing, and then we're going to unbox something else. Alright, bed is starting to heat up. Make a little room on the desk. Okay, I've got something else to. It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah. Yeah, the feature is you can't have any failed prints if you just can't print. That's the feature. It's early. Yeah, I got stuff to do today yet, so still love Creality. you know, this could still be a great machine, but this was just a really frustrating experience. Okay. Should have flipped a coin. But with the Ender 5 instead of a coin. Power cord position looks weird and inconvenient. Agreed. The footprint of this printer makes a lot of sense, except for that cord coming out of the side. Exactly. Filament on fire makes a really good point. Why is it using the Zmax switch to home? Why not use the probe? It has a probe. I don't know. It makes no sense. Why not use Z-Safe homing? Don't know. A frustrating experience that a regular user could not have overcome. Absolutely true. Especially because the firmware that Dom provided me is not publicly available. So you folks would not have overcome that because you wouldn't have had access to it. So, or most folks wouldn't have had access to it. Yeah, so don't know. Okay, I'm gonna grab the other box. Where did I put it? I'll be right back. I'm gonna find the other box. Could probably put an angled power cord. Absolutely. You could put one of those 90-degree power cords on it. It worked perfectly. Friendship Lights with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I just saw that. Did I miss that earlier? I see it over here. I don't see it on my screen up. I got two different screens going, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. Here's the other box. Here's the other thing we're gonna unbox. Shining 3D. Does anybody out there know who Shining 3D is? Or what Shining 3D does? I appreciate that I've been paid for my struggles today, for my stress. Lasers, no. They do not make lasers. Attach the power cord to the bench and push the printer off, yeah. 3D scanner, yep. Cleaning cloth. Power cord. Yep, it is a scanner. Ender 3 doesn't have any bed adhesion. What should I do? Preheat your bed for a longer period of time before you start printing. Clean your bed. Re-level. I hate to be that guy, but leveling really does help on the first layer. All right. We have the Shining 3D Einscan 3D scanner. I like this. It has like a silicone sock on it. My favorite filament to print with for structural prints. Polymaker PLA or Inland PLA. Also a fan of PLA Plus and Polymaker ASA are the things I use most commonly. You can scan your Ender 5 so you can print an Ender 5 on your Ender 5. Isn't that technically laser? It uses cameras. I don't know if it has laser. Maybe. So, yeah. Shining 3D has this new Einstar 3D scanner here they just came out with. Pretty recently. And this feels a lot more substantial. Looks like an old mobile phone. Yeah, it does. Yeah, maybe that'll be my skit. I can act like it's a classic old phone. I should have loaded the filament first. It's laying down. It's pushing out the filament from the factory right now. There we go. Now we're to the cookie CAD filament. Looks like an old phone. Yeah, it does. Alright. We're off and running. Mine was in a briefcase. Yeah, bag phone. So yeah. Einstar 3D scanner. It's not much more expensive. Price-wise, this scanner is not much more expensive than like the Revo Point units, but it feels so much nicer. The brick cost $3,200 back when I bought it. Whew. This thing is $9.99, I think, for this scanner. $9.99. This is on loan to me from. It's on loan from Shining 3D. I don't get to keep it, but we're gonna be testing it out here in a short bit. 14 pounds a minute. Wow. I remember those things, but I'm too young to have had one. That's for sure. If it makes decent scans, that's my thing. Because the Revo Point scanners, the pop, those things, I hate them. The scans you get out of them are complete garbage in my opinion, or at least the ones that I've been able to get. Isopropanol, good for cleaning a bed. I use isopropyl alcohol to clean mine all the time. Yes, I agree. I most of the time 3D scanning I just don't mess with because it just hasn't been worth it to this point. Wonder how it compares to phone LiDAR. I will test that. I've not been impressed with the phone LiDAR personally. It's good for like if you just want to scan an object like a statue or something. It's fine for that. But if you want to scan something where dimensionality really matters, not so much. I don't know if I have it here. Oh, I do. First thing I'm going to be scanning is this. This is a dashboard from a 1965 GMC. If anybody follows me on TikTok, the GMC or on my other channel, Hot Rod Hippie, the custom truck I'm building for my dad, I'm going to be using this to 3D scan this so I can design and 3D print a custom dashboard for this. So that's the goal. We'll see if it works well enough because I need to design this anyway. And I need to put this in anyway, and trying to manually get these dimensions is just going to be a pain in the ass. I've been wondering about your dad's truck. It's still going. I just haven't had any chance to get to it and work on it. So I'm really hoping this 3D scanner is going to work well enough for me to get a good scan of this to design off of. Yeah, working on using a Kinect as a scanner. I've heard solid things about that option. I said to myself, if he pulls up an engine block, don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me. There may be something on the other side of his shop we might play with. So, yeah. I requested this a couple of weeks ago, and they hooked me up, so. I have a guy who's trying to get me to make Ferrari replacement parts, but the time to fix the model isn't worth it. Exactly, Mitch. I have a local artist friend, a good friend of mine that's an artist that, switch camera. I have a good friend of mine that's an artist, and she wanted me to 3D scan some stuff she did. LS Swap Mini. I don't know about that. A friend of mine sculpted something, and she wanted me to 3D scan it so I could then resin print them and she could paint them to sell, because she couldn't, remake her sculpture over and over again. So the goal was to scan it so I could then print it, a run of them for her, and she could do a limited run. And the Revo Point scanner was just such a mess, and I couldn't get the fine details that she wanted, that it just didn't work out. Alan gets a Hemi out of the back. I don't have a Hemi block over there. I do have a Triumph motorcycle block on the other side of the shop, though. So, honestly, this is printing pretty quick. Project Binky, yep. That's actually how I found Ivan Miranda originally. From how I came across him was he printed parts for that project. A Rolex President for $8,500 back in '87. Yeah, I'm old. All right, you got me beat by a fair bit. I was 2 in '87, so. For stuff, it's better to look for somebody who's good at 3D modeling. Yeah, and that was honestly what it came down to. Was I told her, I was like, look, I can model most of this print for you manually. It was just gonna blow the budget basically to do a good model of it. I'd already put way too much time in it. It was like, I'd have to charge you too much to make a good model of this. It just didn't make any sense. Bet it leaks oil. It does. Of course it does. It's a triumph. Well, we got a print going. Who would have thought? I didn't think we were going to get here. The last shop I worked at, we saw a Triumph at a show and we were amazed no oil. He said there's none in it. There you go. The last shop I worked at, we had a classic Mini in there that we didn't do. It came in with a Honda swap in it. Honda subframe and all that. I think it was a B16. It wasn't anything crazy, but the guy just wanted to have a fun driver. My car engine is 899 cc's, 39 whole horsepower. Woo! Used to trike old Minis. Whoa. I'm getting an Ender 5 Pro for Christmas. What are your opinions? What should I do to it? Honestly, Ender 5 Pro is an all-around pretty solid machine. Just learn to tune what you have is my best recommendation. Don't push it too fast. Just mess with getting a good quality print out of it right off the bat. That's the thing you should focus on first. Deal with that and then figure out where it's lacking for you. Is it not printing fast enough? Is the quality not there? The number one thing I recommend with a machine is don't start messing with it right out of the box, mod-wise, unless it's not your first machine. If you know what you like or whatever, that's a different story. But if you're just getting a machine and you're starting to learn, leave it alone for a little while, figure out what works for you, and go from there. I want an old JDM Mini, yeah. Would I be able to print TPU on it? You're going to be hard-pressed on that. I did an SKR 1.4 swap on an Ender 5 Plus for a friend. It was fairly good with Marlin 2. That's what I run on my current Ender 5 Plus, back there in the corner, the pink. You just see it in the corner of the screen. I have a SKR 1.4 turbo in that. Modbot, welcome. Hello. You missed all the fun. We had a blast with this machine to this point. You need a first 3D printer to tinker on a second. That's not wrong. Yeah, we spent well over half an hour in this stream. I think it was probably close to an hour, wasn't it, folks? Where this thing wouldn't home. It just wouldn't. So, I'm amazed we got it to print. I thought we were not going to get it printing. Speed to 120? We're at 100% right now. Why not? $125. Mechanical switches. Yes and no. It was the weirdest thing. It would home it because it uses a Z Max switch to home. For some reason they're not using the probe to home it. Don't know why. But it would home Z, and then it would tell. It would immediately like M92 itself, saying that it was at Z106. It just suddenly, after it homed, it immediately thought it was at 106 millimeters. So when the bed would travel up, it would hit the firmware limit. It wouldn't let it go all the way up because it would think, oh, I'm already at, -10 when it was only here, and the firmware wouldn't let it go any further. I ended up fixing it. Dom sent me a beta firmware release that's not publicly available yet, and that's the only thing that was able to fix it. So. You're ready for mods. Okay. Then my recommendation for a mod on the Ender 5 Pro, basic Ender 5 Pro, I would look at the Hero Me Gen 6 fan shroud setup. Why would they use Max? I don't know. It doesn't travel fast. Sounds like time to make coffee. Exactly. I don't understand it. It's got a leveling probe. Why not do Z-safe homing? I don't understand. And if when I get around to messing with this further, we will be addressing that for sure. What was I saying? Oh, personally, I would recommend on a Ender 5 Pro then, if you're ready for mods, you know that's you. Hero Me Gen 6 fan shroud and maybe a LDO Orbiter V2 direct drive setup. I would probably look towards something like that. Oh, they're on to Gen 7 on the Hero Me now, aren't they? Direct drive conversion. If you want to print TPU, look at something like an LDO Orbiter and go that direction, I would think. That's just my personal thought. If you want to print TPU with it, definitely. They get a product like 80-90% and they say send it. Yeah. Yeah. Is that belt loose? It's totally loose. Yep, this belt is totally loose. Your mic is wiggling so much. It does that. It's because it's on this flimsy mic arm. I may very well wait a little longer. Yeah. This is printing impressively fast. It is. And the cooling setup on this, I'm impressed by that. It's a really nicely designed duct with a 50-15 fan. Like, I like that. Now that I have this machine running, I'm interested to actually play with it, but... "150% speed. Any idea what acceleration is set out of the box?" I looked. The firmware limit is 3,000. This doesn't look like 3,000 to me. It looks like 1,000 to 1,500 if I'm guessing how it's sliced, but I can't say for sure. The firmware limit's 3,000. Don't know. So yeah, look out for content soon on this. We're going to be playing with soon. Yeah. This thing's going to get mothballed for a little while, I'm sure. Probably have minimum layer time. I'm sure they do. But they have a pretty solid cooling solution. This is absolutely the best cooling solution I've ever seen on a Creality machine, because that's usually the number one thing I tell them. Their cooling is garbage. This is the best I've seen. So, do you know Prusa Slicer now makes profiles for Creality machines? Yeah, they do. I've been running Prusa Slicer exclusively for over a year at least. I think 2 years. I make my own profiles mostly, but they have solid profiles for Crealities. They're usually a little conservative on their settings, but shocker. So, look out for the Shining 3D Ein scan real soon in some content. What else? Modbot is here. You're working on a Mercury 1, I've heard, or I've seen. I'm gonna be doing a Mercury 1 on my Ender 5 Plus back there in the corner. We're going Mercury 1 on that soon. What about Simplify 3D V5? I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I tried Simplify 3D years ago, and it was just not for me. I didn't care for it. I really didn't. So I have no interest in V5. Should ask for a Prusa XL. That ain't happening. They're not going to send me one. I have one on order. I have a pre-order in for one. We'll see when I get it. But no way they're sending it. Editing a V5 video right now. Lots of mixed thoughts. Look out. There you go, folks. Look out for Modbot putting out a video on Simplify V5. I'm not bothering. I thought about doing it, like revisiting it, but I'm just not going to pay for it. Making content's already expensive enough. You know what I mean? At least if I build a printer, I could always turn around and sell it, make some money, but can't do that with slicing software. When are they making an Ender 5? Not missing much. When are they making an Ender 5 Plus S1? I don't know, but they really need to. They really need to. The Ender 5 Plus is not a terrible machine, but it is very due for an update. That machine is past due for an update, and in S1, what I'm seeing here, if they did this to the Ender 5 Plus, totally awesome. Love to see it. As long as it actually homes. Yeah. This is going way faster than I expected. I mean, I have it at 150% speed right now, but we're at 86%, 23 minutes in. Let's just go to 200. All right, 200%. Jealous you have a micro center near you. I love it. I was there yesterday. It's both a good and a bad thing. Often a bad thing. Yeah, it's often a bad thing that I have a micro center nearby. I was there yesterday looking at a new monitor. I really want to get a new monitor. I'm really tempted to get an OLED monitor for my computer. It's just hard to say. Happy holidays, buddy. Thank you very much, Modbot, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Excited to see what you do in 2023. Same for you. Congratulations on crossing 100,000. Congrats on that, folks. Well, congratulate Modbot on that, I mean. Crossed 100,000 subscribers. Excellent. Love to see it happening. Things I miss from California so far, IKEA and Micro Center. Yeah, I get that. I don't leave without $100 in junk from Micro Center. Yeah. OLED would be nice, but they're so expensive. Yes, you're right. Right now, the Gigabyte Aorus 48-inch OLED screen, 120 hertz, is on sale for $1,000. Not cheap. I see the front bar fell off. Yep. Yeah, it didn't even make it through assembly. Bearded Bucket, welcome. When we had fries. I miss fries. I only ever lived close to fries when I lived in Texas. So. And I was pretty broke when I lived in Texas, thankfully. Thankfully meaning because I had a fries. Rest in peace, Radio Shack. I miss Radio Shack for the, like, odds and ends stuff, which is what I go to Micro Center for now. I needed a diode yesterday, that's why I went there. I didn't even need a cutoff wheel to give it the Joel telling. Nope. I didn't. I wish you could tag on mobile. I don't understand why you can't. I was in the Repcord Alan's business podcast yesterday, and we were all chatting. I couldn't tag. It was really annoying me. Why did it do that? It went to the right front corner and came back. Meh. LG C1 is $799 for a 42-inch. The problem with using it, I would totally do that. The problem is that the LG's, looking to get your thoughts on the X1 Carbon. My thoughts are coming soon. My X1 Carbon, I'll tell you, is broken right now. Totally broken. Unusable. So, yeah. Yeah, look out for that soon. I'm going to have a video coming very soon with fixing mine, and yeah. My primary monitor right now is a Acer 27-inch It's a 27-inch Acer 1440p, like 160 hertz monitor. That also has 10-bit color and pretty good color reproduction as well. It's good. My problem I have right now, burn-in is still an issue. Yes, that's my biggest concern is burn-in. The problem with the problem I have right now is I run a triple monitor setup. So I have three 27-inch monitors on my main computer. I've got the Acer 27-inch 1440p monitor. That's my main monitor. Then I have a 4K Dell that I use for color grading and for like the actual image while I'm photo editing and video editing. And I put the timeline for my video edits on the lower monitor. And then I have a portrait monitor I use for Discord and like File Explorer and stuff like that. I really like this setup, but I think I'm going to be better served by one big monitor. Having three big monitors is just kind of like too much going on sometimes. I'm kind of thinking one big monitor, 42-inch, 48-inch, and just having everything right there in front of me on one screen might just be better. And I want an OLED. Ultra wide. I've never gotten into the ultra wide thing personally. Wish you could buy an Ender 5 S1 gantry that would be compatible with the Ender 5 Plus. I mean, you could buy the Sprite extruder and add it on. The problem, my ADHD would be bad with 4 monitors. I lose my mouse a lot. That happens. The problem, in my opinion, the biggest thing I don't like about the Ender 5 Plus, how it ships now, is, is the electronics. They're out of date. They really need to update the electronics in the Ender 5. I tried a modbot saying I tried using the ultra wide, but that's my same problem. I like having a separate monitor for a reference monitor. Like I have my reference monitor on the 4K is just a full screen. And then my lower monitor is where I have all the editing things. That's why I've never switched to DaVinci Resolve.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Frickin' Siri again. That's why I've never switched to DaVinci Resolve, is because I can't use multiple monitors on Resolve. I just can't do it. I cannot edit on a single screen. I just can't do it. I'm looking at basically the concept of the big monitor effectively being multiple monitors. Just because it's so large, I can like dissect it into multiple spaces, you know? I am on Premiere, yep. Yeah, I can't get away from how customizable Premiere is for my needs. Like, I run it on 3 separate monitors. I have all my project files, so all my clips, on the portrait monitor off to the side. Then I have my timeline on the bottom monitor. And then I have my reference monitor up above. So everything has, like, a lot of room to work. Yeah. My Ender 5 Plus is still loud, even with the silent board. The problem with the Ender 5 Plus is that even the silent board is an 8-bit board. They need to update that machine if they're going to keep it around. Samsung does have a 42-inch monitor. I think it's over $1,000. That's the problem. OLEDs are just so damn expensive. It's really hard to justify. I could spend that money on a lot of better things. I really need a new streaming computer in here in the studio. I'm using this old iMac right now, and if you ever see it, if you catch my stream at the very beginning, I have like a rolling graphic going. It'll stutter in the stream pretty often because this computer's so weak it can't render that and send it out. So got tired of Adobe. Totally understandable. I'm locked into the Adobe workflow personally. I like, having Photoshop, Lightroom, Audition, Premiere, all of that just really works out well for me. It's got tons of problems, don't get me wrong, but yeah. It really needs an upgrade. OLED TV could work. The problem with OLED TVs, It could. The problem with an OLED TV, they are a little cheaper, a little, but not a lot, is they don't wake up. So like when your computer goes to sleep, they don't wake up properly, and they don't have DisplayPort inputs. So getting 120 hertz to them with a full 10-bit signal and everything like that can be a problem if they don't have HDMI 2.1 ports. And then your computer can't wake your screen up because there's no like wake on HDMI on a TV. So you basically have to turn the TV off every time your computer goes to sleep and turn it back on. Annoying. Just an annoyance, but I kind of feel like it. I understand this is like a privileged thing to say, but I feel like the $200 additional cost is worth it in that regard. Thanks for the electric screwdriver recommendation. Awesome. Some of the new OLEDs have DP. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I know like they have the new OLED monitors. That's what I'm talking about. Is Gigabyte has the Aorus 48-inch. That monitor is OLED, and yeah, so stoked to see Ender 5 Plus. I'm not doing Hydra. I'm just keeping it the 2 Z motors, not going full on. So thank you very much, Modbot, for stopping by. Appreciate it very much. Watch out for 2.1. 2.1 is not 2.1. Yeah, they've been having that. Will I be streaming the build? No, I'm not going to stream the build. I'm just going to do a full video. It'll probably be a long video, but I'm going to do a video. I'm not going to stream it. Because I'm customizing a lot of things about it. I'm making my own tool head setup and my own electronics case for it. So trial and error of getting fits and all that right. I don't want to go through all that on stream. So you're still mid build on yours, aren't you? Yeah, the Hydra with the E5 Pro makes more sense. That's where I'm not too worried about it. With the dual motors on the E5 Plus, I'm not that worried about it. My build's been a bit rough. Yeah, I believe it. Streaming builds just gets hard. Toolhead and wiring, yeah. I'm designing my own toolhead. I'm not going to use the Ava carriage, the Ava setup. I'm gonna go a different direction. So, I just want to design something in Project R3D, sending over one of their LGX Revos that I'm going to use, and that's not compatible with the Ava. So, I still don't understand why I didn't go with 2Z motors. What, on the Pro? Like this? Cost. Another motor adds expense. It's the best thing I could say. So, all right, folks. I think we are going to wrap it up here. We've been at this now for 3 hours. Wow. My print is done. Let's try and let's do that. Let's get a better finished look at the print. A look at the finished print. See if we can get this popped off the build plate. Wow, this is really stuck. Get very distracted. I'm very distracted right now. Thank you very much. I'll chat with you later. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, this is so stuck on here right now, and the first layer wasn't that good. Totally tore a chunk out of the bed. So, our finished print. Let's see if I can... Bloop. Our finished little bunny here. Do I have any experience with an H2 extruder? I do. My Ender 5 Plus back there in the background has a BQ H2 on it right now. That's what I have on it right now, is a BQ H2. So, there's our finished little print. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. I don't feel like doing that. So honestly, looking at this as I drop it, honestly, looks really good. 25 minutes for this. Are you going to Sonic Pad this? If they send me one, maybe. I don't know if they will or not. I'm going to get you folks a better view of this real quick. Hold up. Okay, sorry. Was away from it there. Got an old PC running it. Yeah, I have a... I have a video coming out real soon. Yeah, this turned out really clean. I am impressed with that. The quality of this turned out really nice. I have this old netbook that I just installed Clipper on and run my Ender 3 off of. I got a short video coming out real soon about it. The BQ-H2 does have noisy retractions. It's just a problem with that thing. Happens. Mine has that too. I have a video on here somewhere about fixing it, but it just never goes away. Does the Sonic Pad make it 32-bit? No. That's a different concept. Yes and no. The Sonic Pad will be 32-bit, but the Sonic Pad takes over control of the printer. Clipper only uses the board that's in your machine to send signals to the motor. It basically uses it as a breakout board. It simplifies things. The processing in Clipper is done by a computer. An SBC, like a Raspberry Pi 4 can do it. I'm using this netbook on one of my computers, so. Is there no fan cover? I took it off. There is a fan cover. It actually looks pretty good, I think. But I took the fan cover off, so. I just took it off. Definitely took a little chunk out of the bed already from this first print. That's lovely. All right, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up here. This went on way longer than I expected this stream to with all the problems we had earlier on. If you haven't seen the problems we had about an hour back, you can check out the replay of the live stream and check out all the trouble we had with this thing. It was an adventure. It's done. It is done. It sucks to have to wait. Yeah. They really need to come out with an E5 Plus S1. I'm looking forward to it. All right, folks. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you in joining in. This was an excellent stream. Great. Thank you very much for everybody being here. Happy holidays. I'm probably going to put out a video this week. Maybe we'll do a live stream on Christmas Eve. I don't know for sure yet. But if not, if this is the last time I see you folks before the new year, happy holidays, happy new year. And I will see you all in the near future. 2023 is going to be an amazing year for content around here. We're going to be pushing it hard in 2023 on this channel. So appreciate you folks being here and look forward to all the stuff we're going to make together. All right, folks. Catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.